Hey, so this is something brand spanking new. Let's see what happens here. My name is Heidi Bound, and I'm an independent consultant with Paparazzi Accessories. And I'm popping on here today because I wanted to talk to you about why I do paparazzi and why my why, that's a lot of whys, why my why has changed over time in the last little over 2 years that I have done paparazzi. So first things first, I'm an elite consultant, which means that my amazing team, the Gotham gang, is in the top 1% of the paparazzi company. And I am also a pink diamond consultant, which means I sell a whole ton of jewelry. That's what that means. Hi, Paula. This is new for me, so if you come on in and say hey. Also, what else? I live in New York City, and so I run my very successful business here out of New York City. And I'm here to talk to you a little bit about why I do paparazzi, why I started, how things have changed over time. So first things first, I joined this amazing company back in July of 2017, pretty much on a whim. Quite frankly, yeah, I asked a bunch of questions to my sponsor, but it was one of those things where I woke up one day and thought, let me give this a try, let me see what will happen. And so I bought the starter kit, the biggest starter kit, back in 2017, just to throw a few extra dollars in my bank account. At that time, I was a special education teacher, and here in New York City, and wasn't bringing home a ton of money every month. And so a lot of, like a lot of people, a side hustle certainly wouldn't hurt anything. And so I sat with my husband for a little bit. We talked it over, and he said, listen, Heidi, what's the worst thing that could happen? You could end up with a really cute box of jewelry. And I was like, yep, you know what, you're right. So my why, which is the focus of this video, hi everybody. My why when I first started was to simply make a little extra money. And quite honestly, I didn't have a number in mind. It wasn't like I said, oh, well, I'm going to buy the kit and I'm going to try to make an extra $500 a month. There was none of that in my head, because at that point I was simply, I didn't really know too much about the company, except for the fact that a friend of mine, a friend of mine was selling the jewelry and she was having a good time. So I thought, well, it looks like something fun. Let me give it a shot. So what eventually sort of evolved for me over time was that I realized very, very quickly that the amount of work that I put into paparazzi equaled the benefits and the reward that I was getting back. Whether that was financial or it was opportunities for small bits of travel at first, or it was the really great people that I was beginning to form relationships with. Things were changing, and they were changing pretty quickly. So fast forward to the winter of 2018, and my why took a drastic and very life-changing shift. It was at that time that I realized that I could actually do paparazzi full time. For a very long time, teaching didn't make sense for me anymore, simply because the system didn't make sense to me anymore. I'm teaching special education. Oftentimes I was working with kids that really struggled in school, and I was working in a system where standardized testing was used as a means of measurement of success, not only for students but also for educators. And I couldn't quite figure out how to fit into that system that didn't make sense for me anymore. So it was at that time, winter, where I had a long chat with my husband Marty, and talked to some friends, and spoke with my sponsor and said, I think I'm actually going to try to do this full time, and financially we're making some serious cash. And she looked at me and said, if anybody could do this full time, it's you. And so my why, in a very short time, like 6 months or so, shifted from I want to make a little bit of extra money in a side hustle to I want to try to do this full-time, so I'm going to push as hard as I possibly can so that I could retire from my full-time 23-year teaching career in July or June of that year. So that would have been June of 2018. So you could see that, you know, the reason why I did this shifted not only quickly, but from a level that was clearly attainable. We definitely made that extra cash, to something that seemed kind of scary, but really exciting all at the same time. So Marty and I, we worked like crazy in that winter and spring to see if we could definitely make the numbers and pull the numbers to be able to retire, for me to retire from my teaching job. And so that became my reason, my why, my purpose, the reason I would come home from school every day and I would go live. I would come home from school and I would invoice. And I was constantly thinking about how could I make this my life. And probably about a decade before that, I would sit with Marty and we would talk about, boy, I really wish I could do something like in the fashion world. I loved clothes and makeup and jewelry, of course. And you know, he would say, oh, we'll go back to school for like fashion design or something in that world. And I would say to him, well, there's no way, because now I'm a teacher. Now I'm a teacher, and there's no way I could shift my career, right? We get stuck sort of in that mindset, I think. And through a lot of focus and strategic work, I was able to retire in June of 2018. And at that point, my why really shifted. At that point, the reason I was getting out of bed every day was because that was how we were going to pay our bills. Paparazzi became our full-time, well, my full-time gig, and that was how I was going to pay the cell phone and the rent, and you know, that was how we were going to live our lives. And so we had to be really, really focused and very thoughtful in the things that we were doing. So Marty is a full-time musician here in New York City and was also teaching at a bunch of different schools and went back to school in fall of 2018. I did not. It was at that point that I was doing Paparazzi full-time. And Marty went back to school for that school year, and we realized very quickly that that would most likely be the last year that he would also be teaching. That would be the last year that he would be jumping from one school to another, one crazy schedule to another, leaping in the car to drive to go teach a class here and there. And so we became very focused on not only what I was trying to do, but also the opportunity for him to be able to pursue a full-time music career and no longer have to juggle schools. And so our purpose became, again, very strategic. Marty was able to retire in June of this year and didn't go back to school this year. Every other year since he's been about 5 years old and going to kindergarten, he's had to get up in the morning and go to school, and he doesn't anymore. So things definitely shift, and I think a big thing in paparazzi is that, and in life, is that you have to do a lot of self-reflection and think about where are we at this point and what are our goals and what do we want to do. So my why now, currently, with the successes that we have had and continue to have in this company, I have been really fortunate to be given a platform for change. And that's one of the big reasons that I'm on here talking to you today, is that I am able to share a gift with you that is undescribable. I have met people I would have never met if it wasn't for paparazzi. I have had experiences and travel that I never would have ever met. I've been on an airplane more in the last year than I was in my entire life combined. This company has given us financial freedom. It has given me people who have become like family to me. And so my why now is to continue to share this opportunity and to tell other people about this gift that we have. So I'm here today because I wanted you to hear from me the kinds of things in a really short time that have happened to us. We've traveled to Dominican Republic. I've been to Vegas 4 times, 4 times, and we're going again this coming weekend. I've been to Palm Springs. I traveled to Atlanta. Again, I've met people that I never would have met. I have friends in the company, from people that have just started to people that have been in the company from pretty much day one. The support that is there is incredible. So my why, my purpose with Paparazzi now is to, yes, continue to make money. There's nothing wrong with that. But to share that opportunity with you and tell you that this is an amazing company that could also change your life when you're ready. So with that, I will be on my business page around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, talking about Paparazzi, talking about what it costs to join, some of the logistics, fears, apprehensions, questions that people have. So you can come check me out at Gotham City Bling by Heidi. You'll see all of that in the description. And tonight I will be on live at 7 p.m. So in about an hour and a half to talk about that. But also, if Paparazzi sounds like a business for you and you would like to change your life, no matter what your reason, no matter what the why is that you have, you're also going to see a link in the description to join my team. Oh, hi, Becca. Thank you. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. This is a new thing for me. I was like, let me try YouTube Live and see what happens. So here we are. So please feel free. You could either come and watch at 7 o'clock, or if you want to just join, like, let's do it, right? Or if you want to hit me up in a private message, I am more than happy to answer questions for you. You can go to Gotham City Bling by Heidi on Facebook, and I'm available to answer any questions that you have and help to get you set up. I did, oh my gosh, I had so much fun. Thank you. We're going to talk more about the Vegas trip at the 7 o'clock show that I'm going to do. All right, so feel free to hit me up. I would love to hear from you, and yeah, love to you from New York City. Bye.